why are you here today?
To support the cause, to not let that happen again, really. Because it definitely is now that should happen again. And if we don't have a voice now, when do we have a voice?
Exactly. What's your views on like the Palestine versus Hamas
It's
or
not
Israel
with
situation?
Palestinians, it's Hamas.
It's Hamas. And what's your views on them?
If we don't stop the terrorists now, the world is going to suffer.
Fair enough. Well, I want to say this first of all, we're Christians,
Yeah.
but we love Jews. We're
Yeah.
here to walk with Jews because honestly, we think the persecution with Jews is enough. We've seen what happens in certain countries.
Exactly. That's the whole point of it.
And I would say it's obviously Jesus loves you. That's what I would say first. That's what I say first. Secondly, I'll say this. Look, when it comes to groups like Hamas, they're following a script. They're following directions from somewhere.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I believe that it's solely based on the Islamic text. Now, the Islamic texts do say in chapter 98, verse 6 of the Quran that Jews and Christians, so both you and I, are the worst of creatures. And in fact, in chapter 5, verse 51 of the Quran, it says, do not take friends from Jews and Christians. And there's other anti-Semitic texts all riddled out throughout the Quran. What's your views on this, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know, do you want to say anything about that?
It's just hate, isn't it? It's just hate. What can you say? Like, we need to turn as many people away from that way of thinking as possible. And the less people want to live that way, the better for everyone.
Exactly. We all want to live in peace.
Yeah, in harmony, really.
Exactly.
We do, and I think there are Muslims that genuinely do want to live in peace.
Yeah, for sure.
There are,
absolutely.
but the issue is the people that are reading from the same text they're reading are coming to the conclusion that you and I, we're not worthy of living.
Yeah.
So there's a massive problem there
And
for
at
us.
the minute, they're a lot stronger and louder than everyone else. It seems to be at the
A
minute.
lot, yes.
They seem to get more voice time, more airtime about it though, as well. That's the thing, isn't it?
Exactly. I would say, look, the persecution of Jews is not just happening today. It happens in many different countries throughout history.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's something that I stand against as a Christian because I do believe God still loves Israel. I do believe Jesus is still in love with Israel.
It's the
and he wants Israel to
minority
be
that
saved.
is having the big impact at the moment.
But unfortunately, the minority, and this is what I'd say to you to caution you as individuals, is that the minority are reading from a text, and that text is the Quran, and the Quran does state emphatically that you and I are worthy of death, including the commentaries based on the Quran as well. That's what I would say.
It's plain to see, but it's just crazy that how many people aren't seeing that at the minute.
So what are you? Are you religious at all? Or are you,
Not religious, but I'm
Jewish. Just not
Secular
not
Jews.
Secular Jews, fair enough. Can you explain that to me?
We all want to live in peace.
Absolutely,
I
yeah,
want it
first and
all
foremost.
to end, and I don't want one person killed.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
to
yeah.
end when Hamas
We all
That's what I
believe
said.
the same.
How is it the problem?
I don't
They are
want
the
to see.
Yeah.
and it's a shame that Qatar haven't chucked them out.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So
Why?
can we all agree here that any ideology that promotes attacking, persecuting ethnic minorities or any sort of group is not a good idea?
Yeah, it needs to
Muslim
go.
religion teaches you, it's an Abrahamic religion just like ours, not to kill.
Yeah.
So they're not good Muslims.
Well, it doesn't say that.
No, but I'm saying the Muslim religion is a peaceful religion.
Not really. It says
it's not.
so. Chapter 9, verse 29 of the Quran says, "Fight the unbelievers."
Yes,
And you
I
can
know.
read it yourself. It's online. You
but
don't have to believe me.
That's a warped. That's a warped reading of it, though.
No, it's
that's
what's in
what it
the
literally
Quran.
says.
That's in the Quran.
It
Is
is
it
in the Quran.
really?
Yes, it is in the
I know
Quran.
it is.
This is what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, have a good look at this because this is a problem, not only just for what's happening in Palestine and
But
Hamas,
everywhere.
but everywhere. That's the problem. And if this is a big issue, then we've got to look into these texts. And
Medical.
I would suggest banning texts.
Can I
like
ask you,
Proverbs.
madam, can you read it? This is just one example. Can you read it, please?
Oh, you want to-
Oh, hang on, it's
Oh,
gone
hold
off.
on.
And I need to put my glass.
Oh, I
Do you want
can,
me to read- do you want to read it or do you want me
You
to
read
read
it.
it?
You can
Okay.
read it.
Oh, you read it.
Okay, the hadiths are the saying of Prophet Muhammad, right? So that's why they're called hadith.
Yes.
You will fight against the Jews and you will gain victory over them. The stones will be saying, "Oh, slave of Allah, there is a Jew behind me, so kill him." This is according to authentic hadith tradition. So this is what Muslims have to believe historically. And I'm sorry, it sounds harsh because our Muslim friends, we don't consider them to be this aggressive and angry against us. But they're not the ones. I would say the true ones that are following Islam are Hamas, ISIS, and the jihadis.
That's
They're
it.
the ones
Yeah,
following
yeah,
it. The cultural Muslims are not really following it, so they're not aware of the text.
Exactly.
I mean,
And the
the Hamas,
Ayatollahs.
ISIS, jihadis, they'll kill other Muslims that don't believe.
Yeah,
They don't care.
They kill their
They
own
don't care who it is.
Muslims,
It's whoever doesn't believe their
That's the
way.
thing, they don't care. But I would say because of this ideology, not because of Muslims, not because of Muslim people, but because of the
no.
ideology,
Exactly.
a lot of things like this are happening today, and there's a lot of persecution.
Yeah.
I just want to say that, well, God bless you all. You're doing a wonderful job. And I hope
What outlet are you like?
No,
Are you like?
Because
you
now
want to
we
say-
now we hold on. We have our own channel. We evangelize to all people because we're Christians. We believe salvation is for everyone.
Yeah.
But we do actually criticize Islam, and we do evangelize to many Muslim people because Islam, as opposed to other religions or ideologies, it does teach to behead people, kill them, enslave women. And it teaches jihad, which can be as little as criticism of Muhammad. And for Jewish people, and I believe that's my personal view, the reason why you don't see any Muslim, there could be some, I haven't seen them, because a few Jewish people say, oh, why aren't there any Muslims saying not in my name, is because their religion teaches hatred towards Jewish people. And this is, we have to speak against it. And and also, in Islam it teaches that on the last day, the sins of the Muslims will go. The sins of the Muslim will go on the shoulder of the Christians and the Jews. So, did you know this?
No, I didn't. But
Do you find it
surprising.
shocking, this kind of stuff?
That's awful.
So we're here to educate you that it's not just about Israel. It's not just about the land. There is like a deep hatred in their ideology.
They'll clear the Western world.
Yeah, and you're a secular Jew. We wanna just give you a book. It's a gospel of Jesus. We wanna just gift it to you because Jesus, on the opposing hand, is said to love all people and to pray for those who persecute us. So it doesn't mean that we would be. Oh, sorry, thank you. It doesn't mean we would be like doormats, and obviously we want a justice system, but we believe the solution is Jesus, and until he comes back, there will be terrorism in the world, and we believe Islam is the main Antichrist theology. So that's for you. It just, it would be interesting for you to read because it is a Jewish Messiah. You don't want it?
I'm just telling you it's different.
Yeah, no, it's a different cover. So basically, we believe in the Old Testament and the New Testament. Obviously, the Jews, unless they're Messianic Jews, they don't believe in the New Testament. But this is the coming
how
of
much
Jesus.
of the Bible have you actually read at all?
No, I'm not like religious. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more about the cause. It's more about stopping terrorism.
It is,
Yeah.
No,
And
I
I have no problem with any religion. People believe what they believe,
Yeah.
and that's fine.
But if they
for
believe
me,
stuff
life
like
is
you-
for living the best life I can.
Of course, but if they
Yeah.
believe that you should be
For
killed,
every-
that's
exactly.
That's still a
That's-
problem.
that-
Nobody's
that's
going to
the
tell me how
stumping
to live, and
out.
I wouldn't tell anybody else how to live. So.
I understand.
Yeah, anyway, we want to leave you with this. Obviously, we would encourage you to read the Bible. It's your book and your
I did when I was a
ancestry.
kid. I read it when I was very young.
When you, ultimately, we believe that, we are, we all have a human heart, and we all, I think even some Muslims will find it shocking to read these sources, but we believe that salvation comes from Jesus Christ, and the Old Testament prophesies about Jesus. I don't know if you ever heard of the angel of the Lord.
No.
Yeah, it's in the Old Testament. But anyway, I'll leave you with this. I don't want to overload
lovely,
you with
thank you.
information, but it was really lovely speaking to you, and
Likewise. Thanks very much.
it's great to see many of you here today.
it's good to-
God bless you. God bless you.
Right, you can.
Nice one.
Want to have a conversation with us or Jamie?
I don't like talking.
Yeah, so
I let dog do the talking.
it's a very cute dog.
Thank you.
So we wanted to ask, why are you guys here today?
We're promised free lunch afterwards.
Okay.
That's it.
Are you a security guard?
Nope, nope. I'm just
No.
a member of the public.
Okay. I mean, we're. Oh my God.
She just warning you to ask the right questions.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're Christians, and we were just wondering. I mean, do you know what Islam teaches about the Jews?
Well, from what I understand, it's hate. Not very good
Yeah.
from what I understand.
Yeah.
But I'm not very good at history. I'm not very versed in it. But
I mean, to be honest, with you, I don't know much about history, but I know just briefly the sources that Islam teaches that you will fight against the Jews and you will gain victory over them. This is in the latter days, and the soul will be saying, "Oh, slave of Allah, there is a Jew hiding behind me, so kill him." So, I mean, I'm just wondering, as an outsider, whether that's why there are no Muslims here today, because their religion teaches...
This is just a peaceful rally against anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
That no one needs to hate us. We're not here to fight, we're here for
But
peace.
but their religion, I mean, because you have different religions and ethnic groups, so their religion teaches anti-Semitism. That's my point, and that's why you will not find any Muslims here, and that's why you wouldn't find most Muslims speaking against Hamas. In fact, you had even before Israel retaliated, you had many pro-Palestinian people celebrating and talking about freedom fighters. The very next day, despite of the fact that many Jewish people were raped and killed. I mean, so my point is, that the issue is that as much as we want to speak against anti-Semitism, my issue is that this is kind of against. So this comes from Islam.
Possible. Makes sense.
What do you think about that? About the fact? I mean, there was some Muslim people, saying that's why it says in the Hadith, that if a Jew hides behind a rock, they were actually having this process. What do you think about this?
Well, that's why we can't make peace with them. That's why it's very hard. That's why it's very hard. We've tried making peace many times. We're willing to negotiate, but they just want rid of us. So how can you negotiate with people who don't want you to live, don't want to accept you? It's difficult.
So do you live in this country, in Israel?
No, I live here.
You live here. So have you experienced more anti-Semitism since you've been here? I mean, not since you've been here, since this has been happening.
Yeah, definitely a little bit, but not too much. A little bit, a little bit, but I just brush it off my shoulder. Don't come down to their level.
Yeah. So, I mean, because obviously, we should all have freedom of speech and stuff. But don't you think that their level of free speech, is to the same level as Nazism, because they advocated for the wiping out of the Jews.
That's why we're not going to let that happen again. Eitan?
Pause it 1 minute, John.
Eitan?
Can you pause it one?
Okay,
no worries. Sorry. So I don't want to keep you too long, but I'm just I came here to discuss this with Jewish people because, as a Christian, I love all people. I evangelize to Muslim, but I do have an issue with an ideology that says, to kill the unbelievers, to fight them, to enslave them. And, that's why, for example, you don't hear of Israeli raping, Palestinian women, but you would have, obviously they're sinners, they may have made mistakes, some of them may have shot people that they shouldn't have maybe, but you don't hear that, but you did hear the Palestinians doing that, because Mohammed taught that you can, for example, rape women and enslave them. And, for example, in the Quran, it says that the people of the book, which is Christians and Jews, they're the worst of creatures. So what do you think about this?
About this?
No,
it's just
this
a peace
kind
rally.
of, no, just think this verse
Right,
from
it's
Islam.
it's hard to deal with.
Have you
It's very
heard
hard
of
to deal
them
with.
before?
Yeah, of course I have. Sure. That's an issue because they want us dead. They want to kill
Yeah.
us. They want to, extinguish us.
Yeah.
It's very hard to deal with them.
Yeah.
It's very hard to negotiate with them. They want it all. That's it.
So what? Can I ask you, sir?
One last question.
What? Okay. So in terms of what's going on in Israel, so the Muslim people, they try to show this map that show that Israel has, the Palestine has shrunk. Do you think that's a truthful picture?
No idea. I don't know good about. I'm not versed in it, so I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to.
Okay, can I leave you with this parting gift? Just, this is the Gospel of John. It's just a picture of the King. We have different pictures, but this is, it's basically about Jesus Christ. We are Christians. We do believe that Jesus is the Messiah, and I invite you to read it because, this is kind of the missing piece from Judaism. Is Jesus Christ, and Jesus says that the only way to the Father is through Him. Are you aware of anything from the Old Testament?
Okay, I don't know.
Okay, no problem.
I'm
Well,
very versed in it.
Yo.
Well,
Nice
it's,
dog. I like this dog, man.
yeah.
It's really nice. I just want to
well, the many of the rabbis who are versed, they try to deny some scriptures. In one of.
Again, I'm not going to answer nothing I don't know. So
No, I'm just. Okay, thank you. God bless you. Thank
God bless
you.
me. God bless that dog. That's a beautiful dog. Hey, see you later.
Yeah.